Hello and welcome to our session 1 of our Unlock Your Sugar Solution 5-day masterclass. I would love to give you today really insights about sugar cravings, about sugar in general, so you can turn around and say, okay, I'm done with sugar cravings, because I know how difficult it is to really eliminate the sugar cravings, because I did it myself. So during this 5-day challenge, excuse me, my phone. During this 5-day challenge, you will jumpstart your journey to be really free from sugar and transform your view of the food you eat. So today we will be talking about many things. So have a pen and paper. It's time to focus on you. So I would love to give you all my knowledge that I know. If you are looking for the way how to balance your blood sugar better, or how to better manage your sugar cravings, or how to increase your energy and stay consistent and motivated, you are in a good place. So I know, as I said, I know how hard it is to cut sugar. I was scooping Nutella and eating chocolate basically almost my whole life until I did this transformation 10 years ago. And I know how difficult it can be, but today I want to give you simple steps that if you follow them, you really can make the transformation as well, and you can start today. So I've seen many people to succeed, and they were able to remove sugar from for good. So I would like to give you some insight and really just believe that you can do it, because you won't be first. So I want you to be feeling confident that you can really improve, because when you stop having the sugar cravings, everything else will improve. Your sleep will improve. You will feel better about yourself. You will be more confident. So it's all good. You will have maybe less headache. People have less bloating. People have PMS more mild, and as well the hormonal changes will as well be not so dramatic. And so I would as well talk about insulin resistance this week. And so I would like to make sure that everybody has this workbook. If you don't have it, put a comment in the. So there is so many benefits of cutting sugar, and I'm really happy that you are here. If you now you here with me, and as well when you are looking at the recordings, either here in Facebook or in YouTube. So please make sure you ask me anything, ask me questions. I'm here to serve you this week, and I'm super generous. I really want to give you all the knowledge that I have in my sleeves and my pockets, so you can thrive. And how you can get the most of the group, be all in, participate in the video, comment on the videos, and comment on other people's posts, and really be curious and really ask me, take advantage of it, that we are here together this week. And really, people usually lose weight. They already feel, when we finish on Friday, there will be some bonus sessions, Saturday, Sunday, and then I will be do another bonus session Monday and Tuesday. So in this almost 10 days, people really feel already different. So this is your chance. So take it, and let's start. In this next 5 days, you will discover my proven methods. I will be sharing with you how to manage sugar cravings, how to be free from really sugar dependence, because that's what we are. Majority of us, we are sugar dependents. And how to really enjoy delicious food. This is not a diet. We actually want to step away from dieting, and to really be able to choose something for yourself that is nutritious and delicious. You know that you're doing good for your body, and that you are, eating food that will create health instead of disease. And so every day I will be going live in this Facebook group, or if you're watching on YouTube. And I hope you received the workbook. If not, let me know. And there'll be a lot of opportunities, so we can connect. Have a look at your direct messenger, because you might have a message from me or from my assistant Nicole. So Nicole, just say hi in the chat, so we know that you are here with us. And I'm just checking the messages here. Oh, yeah, Nicole is here. Oh, great, perfect. Great. So welcome everybody. So this week, it's really all about metabolic health. What is metabolic health? Metabolic health is balancing the sugar levels. It's balancing the lipid metabolism, so the cholesterol. It's about the belly fat as well. So it's the whole thing that we call metabolic health, and that's something that now we know that over 80% of population here in America really don't have good metabolic health, and only 12%, so 88 and 12% are metabolically healthy. So we have a lot to talk about today. There will be a lot of things that I will be mentioning. If you don't get, because I'm originally Czech, so I have accent. So if you don't get anything that I'm saying, or some of the details, let me know, and I'm happy to have a connect call and help you this week to really kick off the sugar habit off. So again, show up for yourself. And I would like to also mention that I'm not giving you any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This masterclass really offers health and nutritional information, and it's really designed for educational purposes only. So always talk to your healthcare provider for diagnosis, treatment, including your specific medical needs. So let me introduce myself. So as I said, I'm Radka Toms, I'm a medical doctor, and I'm an ophthalmologist, which is I'm eye surgeon. And I used to work as an ophthalmologist over 2 decades. And I'm also functional medicine practitioner and health coach. And why I get into this shift from, treating the eyes to doing functional medicine and being health coach and basically teaching you here about sugar. So that was that happened because I've seen so many people going blind from diabetes. And so many people really would not need, there was not necessary they would go blind, because it was just due to diabetes, due to stroke, due to all these chronic diseases that are linked to sugar, to excess consumption of sugar and to sugar metabolism. So I thought I have to do something about it, and that's why I opened the company My Sugar Stop. And there's basically health coaching business that helps you to tackle this. And this week it's the focus really on this topic, because there's as well, we're talking about gut microbiome, about gut health, which is really linked with this. I will talk about it on Wednesday. But as well, I would not believe in this as such. I will still educate my patients because I feel that's my responsibility as a doctor. But I would not believe in this that much if I would not live my health journey myself. So I had insulin resistance. I was carrying the belly fat, and I was very sick. I developed rosacea, skin disease. So we know that it's like basically all body was inflamed, and I was in denial. Of course, I was working around the clock. I didn't sleep enough. I was eating really just all snacks in like chocolates and Nutella in like with a spoon from the jar, just really, really bad. And so I could not take I even didn't think that sugar might be a problem. This was around 10, 12 years ago. And then one day when my skin was really bad, I was covering with everything, and still you can see the bumps, and it was so bad. I thought, I sit in a PubMed. PubMed is kind of where all the research is collected. And I was browsing on the PubMed, and I'm thinking, okay, so what can my from Professor Lustig? And I say, sugar causes inflammation? How that is possible? Because we, before we didn't know that this is the strong link. And now we know that the sugar topic is big, and we should really be serious, because sugar, we know that it suppresses the immune system. We know that individuals who consume 25% more of their daily calories the intakes is from sugar, have more than twice the risk of dying from heart disease. So the connection with heart disease is huge. Connecting with diabetes is huge. Connection to autoimmune diseases. High sugar intake as well cause nutrient deficiency, because when we're eating sugar, the sugar it needs to metabolize, so take all the nutrients from our body. So sugar increases the risk of cavities, because it drops the oral environment, the acidic pH lower than 5.5 within 30 minutes of consumption. So always when your kids will have sweet treats, ask them to brush their teeth so they really wash it, the acidity. And so it's really important, so we know that all these chips, all these goldfish, they are sugary foods too, because when they dissolve in the mouth, they basically this is refined sugar, refined starch, and this is something that we don't want to have in our pantry, especially for our kids, because they will ended up with insulin resistance later in their age, and they will definitely have cavities. So we know as well the sugar accelerate aging process. There is many ways how it's happening, and if you don't want to have wrinkles, stop eating sugar. As well, high consumption of fructose is linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's first time in the human history that we have fatty liver from food, from sugar. Before, in the past we had fatty liver from alcohol only, and now we have it even in children. We have this problem, which is serious. And high intakes of fructose as well is linked to the risk of developing certain cancer, such as breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, oral and prostate. So it's time to be serious about this topic. And the problem is that we're eating just too much, and it's hiding everywhere. I'm sure you know that if you go to the supermarket, unless you are stand by the produce, everything else that is inside in this in the lines, it's all filled either with processed starch or processed sugar. And I'm not talking now today about the really poor quality oils. So we're not designed to eat so much sugar. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, the average American consumes 150 to 170 pounds of refined sugar per year. Compared to this, to 4 to 6 pounds of year consumption of early 1800s. And then we start consuming a little bit more around 1900. It was 90 pounds, but now we're having double that. So you might think this can be right, but it is a lot of sugar. But the figure is correct, and this translates up to half pound or 30 to 60 teaspoons of sugar per day. So it is a lot of sugar. So this week you will learn how to tackle and how to really do it in a natural way. So you will not, feel deprived that you're missing something, because you will feel so better in your body. Everybody will tell you that, who did this transformation, that it's not worth it, because now they feel so much better. They sleep better, they lost weight, so they feel more rejuvenated, and they feel younger as well. That's how I felt. So basically, when I stopped eating that sugar, that time when I told you when my face was exploded, I stopped, and I didn't succeed first time, but then second time I did. And I just, did it by, I divided day into kind of compartments. And I said, okay, I don't have any sugar until 10. I don't have any sugar until midday. I'd have no sugar until afternoon, and then evening. And then, of course, my husband, he always snacked at the evening. So that was kind of hard, but I just kept going, and everything improved. My health improved, and now I have no problems. And that's why I want to just tell you that I did it myself, and I helped so many patients and so many people. So I just want to encourage you that it is possible. And so, it's fascinating that for me that to find out that all these diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, liver diseases, and macular degeneration as well, as ophthalmologists, they have the common problems, and that's the excessive consumption of sugar. So, and that's the fructose. So anything that you see in the shelf that has high fructose corn syrup, just put it back in the shelf. And so that's something that I would like to encourage you, because this is simple as it is. Or as I say as well, if you have a product and has a label and there is more than 5 names on it, and you don't understand what it means, if it's contained dates, oats, and nuts, you can eat it. But if it contains names in Latin that you can't pronounce, it's probably will really create inflammation in your body, and you don't want to have it in your system. And it's something that you just have to put back in the shelf, because now these days they even put a variety of sugar. So it's like 6 types of sugar in one packaging, and you think that, oh, it's just has one here, but it's just so the companies are so smart, and they are really just taking advantage of this, and we have to be super smart how we read labels. So and so how I did it myself, I basically find out that I was having for the morning, was having croissant. For lunch, I was having some sandwich, and for dinner, I was having some pizza. So I call it BASH diet. And a majority, and in between, I was having obviously chocolate. So I find that that was kind of I call it BASH diet, because all food that I ate was BASH. And so I said, okay, well, this has to stop. So I really had a food journal, and I was so data cataloging was really critical. So, and I decided to perform really big overall of my diet, and I observed everything that I was eating. The journaling, it's always, you really have to do that, because otherwise you will not know about success and what are the triggers. I will talk about this later. And so I toss all the colorful packaging, like pasta, bread, rice, all kind of flours from the pantry, and I fill it with ancient grains like quinoa, white rice, and some legumes. And I as well increased vegetable consumption, which we know that we only 1%, I think, when we look to the statistics, only 1% people in US having 7 portions of vegetables a day. And so I was very poor as well. I had one tomato, and I thought I'm doing well. So I really increased as well the vegetable consumption to the point that I couldn't close the crisper drawer because I was so much of vegetables. And my aim was to really consume 1 pound of vegetable and some fruit. And so as well, meat is very important to realize that it's good to eat only pasture if you can afford it, a pasture, human raised meat. And as well, I add some omega-3 fatty acids. And so when I cut completely the refined sugar, refined flour, and soya product, and all the packaged foods, the snacks, and all the the processed food that are really inflammatory, and the gluten and alcohol, and I limited dairy, and I created this anti-inflammatory diet with range of really colorful vegetables, of hitting phytochemicals. My rosacea disappeared and never came back, and as well I felt so much better, and my sleep improved, my mood improved, I was less moody. And so I started to see the eating a meal as a biochemical opportunity, because food is molecular information, and that makes us more sick, or it makes us more healthy. And I want this to remember for you, that really every single time you have on a plate some food, start to see the food is not just food that will go in and out, but it always will create some biochemical reaction in the body. And it is molecular information that really can either lead us to an anti-inflammatory reaction or inflammatory reaction. So it's always, if you have Cheetos, most likely I can guarantee you that you will pay for it. Nothing will happen if you have one bag in life, but usually with these snacks we have it every day, and it's really detrimental for our health. And I can tell you this week what to do and how to do it, so you can really thrive, and you can stop having these cravings for all kind of snacks, and you can just feel good. Of course, the food is one bucket. Then you have as I say, it's all levels. You have to do that on all levels. It's on physical level, on the spiritual level, on a mental, and on emotional. So it all go together. But I can guarantee you that if you change the food, that everything else will kind of fit in a place, and you will be aligned. Because I can feel now my body, because that's where you want to be. You want to feel your body, that the body will tell you what is good for you, what is not good for you. I think I can tell you that we were in Maine and I was eating all week fried food. I wasn't even eating much sugar, but I was eating all this fried food. And we know that fried food is really, really inflammatory because it's fried in a poor quality oil. They're using this canola oil. It's really inflammatory because it's high omega-6. And of course, this breadcrumbs, which is gluten, and we know that gluten causes leaky gut in majority of cases. So 1 week on that food, because there was nothing else in the restaurant. It was one restaurant, and we just have to eat there. And I can tell you, I was sluggish after these 5 days. I was moody, and I was even having, I was thinking, am I depressed? My mood was so low, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's the food. Because when you eat this food, you are kind of feeding the certain gut microbiota, like the bugs that live in your gut, and there is gut-brain connection. So if you feed the bugs that create and they really more influence you, that you will be depressed, then that was happening to me, and I'm thinking, wow, this is really amazing. So the place to be that in a place where the body will tell you what to do and tell you like, wow, this is not good for you, or yeah, this is good for you. This is the best place to be, because then you become your own doctor. And that's how I always joke that doctor heal themselves. I heal myself because I could go to my colleagues dermatologists, and what they would give me, they will give me antibiotics. I'm not saying it's bad. Of course, there is a place for antibiotics. There is a place for medicine. I'm not against medicine. I am pro-medicine. But I just wanted to tell you that my problem was that I was feeding my body with the wrong food, and I developed this disease. And only when you stop, putting the gasoline into the fire, you can really reverse it. And that's with all these chronic diseases that we have these days, all these autoimmune diseases, all these cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, even Alzheimer, rheumatoid arthritis. It's all linked to the food we eat, because the food we eat is inflammatory. I will talk about the food that is inflammatory and the inflammatory on Wednesday. So be back here on Wednesday. Tomorrow I will talk about, this is spring edition. So we will talk about what food to eat in springtime that are really healing for us, because we should be eating with the season. So this is something that is a journey. You cannot expect really dramatic, I'm calling transformation as a start. So you see, you get the knowledge, you know what to do, and then you can do this, you can implement it. But of course, this is month-long journey, and it was for me too. And it's usually for people the month-long journey, because they know all that, they will implement all that, they lose the weight within 3 months, they lose a lot of weight, and then you have to really do this. We know from studies as well, I know from my experience now helping people, we need 6 to 12 months to really cement the habit. Otherwise, we lose weight. Classic example is diet. So we go on a diet, we do the diet, we lose weight, diet stops, and then what? We go back where it was before, and we gain weight, and we even we get more weight. We gain more weight. So this is not what I want to give it to you. I want to give you today really template that you feel yourself what is the best in your life and how you want to do it. But it's a formula that really works. Especially on Friday, I will be sharing with you the method, and it's only if you will do that, you will succeed. I can guarantee you, because everybody succeeds if they do it properly. And so as for me as well, within months of optimizing all this gut microbiome, I connect the dots between all the gut bugs that I had and insulin resistance. And I did as well intermittent fasting. I did start doing yoga and meditation. My disease completely disappeared. And this experience really taught me a valuable lesson, that eating for health and feeding my gut microbiota was my endeavor. And you will learn all about gut microbiome on Wednesday. I will talk about it a little bit today, but on Wednesday we will talk about all about this, because that's why we need to eat this food, because all these gut bugs, they're running the show in the body. And I tell you more about it on Wednesday. But I did change the diet. I start moving, but I have to say that was one more thing to, it was one more piece into this puzzle. And I really had to work on my mindset because, I was in denial as young, I mean, I was the time a doctor and I was doing night shifts, and I thought that I love my job. I love being doctor because I really can help people, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Besides being, of course, mom and wife and a daughter and sister, but being doctor is I love seeing people having this great transformation, and it really makes me happy. And so I was in denial because basically my norm was stress. I was tired, but I was just stressed all the time. And I didn't really believe I can do that. I didn't believe that I even didn't think that I can really improve my skin. But I had to believe I can. And when I also accepted I accept my skin. So I was kind to myself and happy with what is, then I could create healing. And that's what I want to pause and really tell you, that if you don't believe that you can lose the weight, that you can be more energized, again, sorry, that you can lose the weight, that you can be more energized, that you can improve your health. I know that people who did this work, their diabetes improved. They were able to, taper down the medication. Their blood pressure improved because they started eating a different diet, and because they were just, the whole metabolic health improved. So I just want to tell you that for me, it was a big piece that I had to surrender and start loving myself as I am, with all the bad stuff that was going on with my face, with my big belly. And so I just want to share with you that that if you can realize that if we change our consciousness, we can change our reality. So, and I'm telling you this because I do understand that it can be sometimes really tricky to cut sugar. And also that I want to show you that what can happen when you stop eating that sugar, because sugar causes inflammation. And I want you to know that your body is amazing, and is designed for health in the first place. So we know that diabetes, yes, it has genetic component, but majority is influenced by environment. We call it epigenetics. Basically, if we eat 20 years sugary food and sugary drinks, I can guarantee that most likely these people will develop diabetes, unless they're doing something very special that somehow the epigenetic works for them well, and it will protect. But majority of time this can happen, but it's good for us because we have certain genes. Yes, we have predisposition. Like my mom, she passed away from breast cancer. Yes, I have predisposition, but whatever I do for my body, I can really, the genes are not anymore our destiny. We can do so much about it ourselves. So I just want you to pause here and really, I just want to be open-minded, because, you will not hear this, maybe you will, but from some doctors, but this is not what we used to, study in medical school. Medical school is very, very, how should I say? It's a modern medicine, and there is, as a conventional a medical doctor treating patients' eyes, we didn't think about stuff that I'm telling you now, and that's correct. There is a space when we have to do the laser for diabetic retinopathy. There is a space when we have to do operation like cataract surgery so that people can see better. It's all wonderful, but we can do just much more by ourselves beyond this doctor's practice. And that's why the functional medicine is something that I want to really share with you, because it changed my health, it changed how I practice medicine and how I live my life, and it changed so many other people's life. And I want this for you too. I want that you know this facts that we know from science. But as always, it's when we discover something in the science, it takes years before it goes to the mainstream practices, doctors' practices. So I know that, I believe you can do it too. And you are here. So that's great because you will have all this knowledge today and you can really implement it in your own in your own space. But I just want you to know that takes one step at a time. There'll be a lot of we will be talking about today, but just take one step at a time and celebrate all little wins, and then you will be in a great place. And as well, I'm telling you this from different reason as well, because I want you to see that understand that the removing sugar is not about dieting. It's about understand that what's happening in the body when you consume this sugar. It's about understanding that why you have to have this sugar, all these biochemical and psychological emotional aspect of this, why I have to consume sugar now. So this will be that we will talking about today. And so I want to tell you the first thing. So the sugar cravings, that's on topic today, and how to eliminate them. So if we stop eating sugar just for 2 weeks, we will stop the craving. This craving process will stop. Everybody will tell me, we have in the program usually 10 days, a really hardcore no sugar, and everybody will tell me after 10th day that they had sugar, they have carrot, and the carrot was so sweet. And so when we are able to really do this and change the taste buds, the body just feels completely different. So unfortunately, there has one downside, because the sugar cravings are number one reason for people giving up on their sugar-free or low carb-free regime. So you have to really have some support. That's why I always say, bring your friend to do this and do it together. Because if you really stop eating sugar for this week, you'll be amazed how you feel the week after, how you feel next week. That's why I always say, bring a friend, because you can brainstorm together and you can really do it together, and you can text to each other, don't have that, let's do it together. So because the sugar cravings are the number one reason for people giving up, we know that from studies. So and there is no magic pill. I can tell you honestly, there is no magic pill. It can be some hard days, but it's possible, and I tell you how to do that so you succeed. So number one, what you eat really matters, because eating sugar will make you crave it more, and so you eat more. So it's like kind of vicious cycle. Same is for the carbohydrates. Eating carbohydrates will cause you crave more carbs. That's that simple. What means carbohydrates? Chips, refined carbohydrates, chips, anything that it's with a flour and is refined. I'm not talking about from nice bread from a farm that it's sourdough, or if it's whole wheat, like if it's, you can see the seeds in the bread, is as well fine. What I'm talking about are all these everything that is packaging, these Cheetos, Doritos, all these snacks that are made with chemicals, and they made from starch, from refined starch. They are really detrimental for our health, and if you eat this, you will crave it more, and it's like vicious cycle. So that's first thing. You have to realize that if you want to really reduce the cravings, you have to stop eating that food, because we have sometimes people that they really clean the diet completely, and then they start craving broccoli for breakfast, which is funny, because it's amazing how the body is working. It's machine that you cannot cheat, because the body will always tell you. And so so suppose we are eating too many refined carbohydrates food, like croissant, pasta, sugary foods, refined and processed food, everything that is in packaging, and not enough this good nutrient dense food, as I call PFF, which is protein, good fat, and fiber, which is all vegetables. In that case, we'll be all the time hungry, have cravings, and we will create imbalanced blood sugar. It's like this sugar roller coaster. So we eat for breakfast, and in 2 hours we are like, oh, what I will eat now. And that's, or when we some other as well, it's what people saying is they eat food and then it's not enough, and then they have to have the sugar and they say, okay, now I have energy, because they were in hypoglycemia. Their sugar was so low, so they have to they have the sugar again to be in a normal. So this sugar roller coaster is causing the cravings, causing the mood swings. And for example, if we eat or drink something high in sugar, like orange juice, because orange juice, yes, has vitamins, but it's so much of fructose, it will just cause you to crave more, and it will cause this imbalanced sugar, the sugar roller coaster, and it will really increase as well insulin. So please, juice is not a good idea, even if it's from really good oranges. Unfortunately, better is if you have orange instead of orange juice. Or if you have a refined carbohydrate, like the worst of it is a white toast, white toasted bread. The blood sugar really goes up so fast, and our pancreas release insulin to bring to normal level. But sometimes the blood sugar goes up really high and then too low, that we develop this hypoglycemia, which sometimes can be really dangerous for diabetic patients. And so you have to be really careful. If you are diabetic, especially on insulin, you have to talk with your doctor if you want to do this, and you will be amazed. People they change their diet and they are able to stop using insulin because they completely you know just they stop being on this roller coaster, and they improve the disease in the way that then they on a tablet, and then at some point they will be able to really feeling much better. So it's something that I want to encourage you, and really always choose whatever you will eat. Always choose this PFF, protein, fats, and fiber. I keep telling people all the time, because that this food will slow down the breakdown into sugar. So if you have even if you have the bagel, make sure you have the fat, you have the fiber. So what is good fat? Always people ask, what is good fat? So the good fat is, for example, avocado, it's nuts, it's a little bit sprinkle of olive oil if you have a salad. And so protein is clear, it's either lean meat or some cheese if you can have dairy. And so this is protein. F is fat, and fiber is all the vegetables. So if I tell you this bagel example, normally have bagel with cream cheese. Well, what's in it is just the gluten that will cause the leaky gut, and dairy that can be as well inflammatory. So, and it's no nutrition whatsoever. So what you want to do is, if you really need to have this bagel, have some good protein with it. So either you have some unprocessed meat, piece of chicken or something, and then some avocado as a fat, and or nuts or seeds, pumpkin seeds, and then some veggie, anything, any vegetable. So tomato you can have a slice of pepper, you can have anything that is in the fridge, celery stick as well. These are really great options. And another example that I can tell you is this juice that I was just mentioning a minute ago. So apple juice and apple juice is another good example. So apple juice has no fiber, but it has a lot of sugar, especially the fructose. And so apple has sugar as well, but it also contains the fiber. So this fiber in apple will break down to sugar a lot slower than the apple juice, and cause because then if you have the juice, it's so much sugar, it will go fast in the body and do really the sugar spike and insulin spike. If you have the apple, even the apple has so much sugar, it has still the fiber, and it really slowed down the breakdown to sugar much slower. So always choose fruit instead of juice. There is as well so much misconception about these smoothies. People make so much effort to have these smoothies, especially the green one, and it's full of fruits. And sometimes I look at the bottle and there is 40 grams of sugar. It's just more than needed Coke. So it's something that always look to the bottle. And if you have smoothie, always go with a smoothie that is some vegetable. That is not just like, mango, pineapple. Pineapple is very high in fructose. Pineapples really can cause a sugar spike very easily. if you have mango, pineapple, a little bit of spinach, and some nuts, that this will definitely increase the blood sugar. So always look at the label. And if you're doing your own smoothie, make sure you put some good the PFF, protein, fat, and fiber. As a protein, you can have either nuts, or the nuts as well as a fat content. So, and some vegetable, maybe some coconut milk as you want. If you want some recipe, let me know. I can share with you. Eggs are great as well if you can. As a source of protein. Some people, they love to have eggs with some spinach on the sourdough bread. This is great breakfast. Some other people, since they join my programs, they always end up having oatmeal, which I love oatmeal, and they, because the oatmeal that they learn to make, because I do so much topping on it. So I put flax seeds, hemp seeds, all these nuts and seeds, and some blueberries. And if you eat this, it's really, you're not hungry in the next 5 hours. So this is something that people usually ended up eating, but I know that eggs are really great. It's just people are quite hungry quite soon after eggs. It's just that, my experience, what I can share with you. So always think, even if you have apple instead of the juice, it's great. But how you can even improve your sugar spike with apple is that you can add some nut butter, because if you just eat the apple, it can actually leave you feeling hungrier than before you ate it. So it's a good idea to have some nut butter or a handful of almonds, and you will be more satisfied. You can try that. And also, when we eat this croissant pizza pasta diet, still, and we want to do this change, the timing is everything in this case, because we can create imbalanced blood sugar from skipping meals. So some people, yes, I'm teaching the fasting as well, but it's for people who already made the first shift. They take all the processed food out, they change it to this rainbow inflammatory diet, and then they implement fasting. If you do that from processed food to fasting, I think your body will suffer, and you have all headaches. It will be dangerous for someone who has diabetes, because we can create imbalance of the blood sugar from skipping meals, and we can really even create this hypoglycemia, and we will be having symptoms from headache to to be feeling sluggish. So if this is happening because we are not eating good quality meals. What I mean is this PFF, protein, fat, and fiber. Always think of it that whatever is on your plate, it has all these contents. And I always tell people that this transition from being sugar burner to the fat burner. So that's what happened when you change first the diet. So you have to lose weight in a smart way as well. Stop the cravings in a smart way. That's how I'm the kind of translating the science for you this week. So a sugar burner is someone who is always hungry, has sugar cravings, going from up and down. So the mood swings. Suddenly you are so tired that you have to eat, and you have a Snickers bar and you feel great. This is all from the unbalanced sugar. And when you will change the diet, you will eat all this PFF, when you will have good source of protein, you will have all the vegetables, and you will have good quality of fat. The body will start burning the fat as energy, and suddenly you will feel you have breakfast at 10 o'clock, and then it will be 2, and you thinking, oh, maybe I should eat something, I'm slightly hungry. And then you know that you are a fat burner, because you basically spacing out the eating window, so you don't really that much hungry. And this is the time when you can really implement the intermittent fasting, or we call it time restricted eating. I'm not talking about this in this challenge, but this is the place where you want to be, because that's going to menopause. This will really, it's critical to really not eat that many times during the day. Of course, now you have to, because you have to prevent these ups and downs. But so always have ready healthy snacks. Preparation is absolutely key in this case. When we're starting, when you're really going from the snacks that you have in work, all this packaged food, you want to step out of it, have less cravings, and we have to like prepare the food at home. So there is a little bit of cooking required, and the preparation is really key. Always prepare always think what you will have in 2 hours, because you'll have cravings. And that's how people succeed, because they always, when I was cutting sugar, we were that time in Australia, and we were living in Sydney, and I was having macadamia nuts everywhere. I was always having it in my bag, and I was carrying a bottle of water, because first thing is, when you have cravings, drink water, because you might be dehydrated. And then if it doesn't work, then you have some snack. And I always was carrying everywhere macadamia nuts, and that really helped me. I was able to I was able to really manage the cravings like that. People having all sorts of snacks, but it should be whole food. Anything that is whole food will be great snacks. So any vegetables can be chopped, it can be celery stick with hummus. It can be a boiled egg with some pepper, and you can have like the baggie that you take to work. I usually people laugh at me here in America, but when we go to New York with kids for day, I prepare a little soup, because in New York is usually you have really great restaurant, but when we go to the beach, there is not really a restaurant we can eat. So I prepare just little soup, and kids have broccoli soup, and it's great. So if you really want to do this, it's required a little bit of cooking, but then the results will be amazing. Because we have to balance the blood sugar. That's basically key. That's the key. That's what we want. And that's why we need to have this PFF, because that's why we influence that the sugar spike will be not so dramatic up and not so dramatic down. Because more we push it up, it will more be, we will go more into hypoglycemia, and we don't want that. And so that's usually how it happens. Every 3 hours it's good to eat, so prepare the snack, and then maybe you will start eating every 4 hours, and before you know it, you will be making 6-hour window or longer, and then you can start the overnight fast, this 14 or 16 hours. But I said, don't do it now, because it'll be too soon this week. Just focus on the sugar and on the refined carbs. And really, I will be telling you this week a little bit homework will be there as well. But if you really do the small step is, like the domino effect. We want to, put this one down, but we have to first do the little one, and then the big one will go. But we will never be able to be able to. It will be very challenging with the big domino piece. So so this was the first one. What it really matters, what you eat. Second reason for cravings and how to really tackle it is really we are dehydrated. It's so often, you hear it from everywhere, drink water, we have to be hydrated, but it's so simple, but people always forget, because being dehydrated makes us feel hungrier, especially for sweets. So drink a full glass of water and see how you feel. I always, aim for drinking approximately half of your body weight in ounces per day. So for example, if your weight is 150 pounds, you should be drinking really 75 ounces of water each day. So try to calculate it. And this should keep you really well hydrated and reduce your cravings as well. What I do every single day, and I feel my body if I don't do it. I always have first thing in the morning lukewarm water, so not hot, not cold, somewhere like normal temperature, and with lime or lemon. I do it every single day. Actually, is this big jar. This is from Germany. When we used to live in Germany, this is for beer. I use it for water because I don't drink beer anymore. And this I have every morning. And if I don't have it, I will feel it, that I will have slight headache, or I will just be slow. So try that. It's really it's amazing. I know many people start day with a coffee, which I sometimes do as well. I have a coffee too, but I have it as a second, maybe because we know that we should have coffee after 90 minutes of waking up. We should not use the coffee as a some like help us to stay awake. So I will encourage you to have water first, and then you can have the coffee. Enjoy the coffee. But please don't drink soda. If you still drink soda, please book call with me and I will give you tips how to stop it. Even diet soda is detrimental for our health. Artificial sweeteners, we know that they're disrupting the gut microbiome. It's harmful to our system. And any drinks that have sweeteners, any kind of, it's really bad. The best is all kind of tea, it's water. If you have little one juice, but again, it's better if you have whole juice, whole orange instead of juice. I can give you some tips tomorrow, but just let me know. But first, if you're still drinking soda, if it's diet, this is the first step. It will not help if you will change your diet and you will still drink the soda every single day. It will still trigger inflammation. I can't express this more. It's really so important. So hydration is number 2. Number 3, another big issue that can really create intense sugar cravings are nutrient deficiencies. What I mean, if especially in sugar balancing vitamins and minerals like zinc, magnesium, chromium, because sugar doesn't contain vitamins and minerals, right? It's just the sugar, the stable sugar. It's a glucose, and and the body needs the magnesium, zinc, and chromium to digest and metabolize sugar. So if you eat only sugar and you don't eat these other food like PFF, the magnesium is one of the most deficiencies is women, we know from science. So really it's important to address it. These days you can as well have it tested. You can test it with your doctor, what is your level of magnesium, which I will really encourage everyone, because then you can really you can take some supplement. There's plenty of supplements good for magnesium especially. So it's something that I would not overlook, because especially if someone is constipated and you have cramps somewhere in the fingers or anywhere in the body, or sometimes people having like they calling that eye sticking, that's can be sign of a magnesium deficiency. And as well, I'm telling you, this most deficiency nutrient deficiency in women. So it's something that I would definitely encourage. And so any questions? I see that what's happening here in the chat. Oh, Nicole, thank you. You are doing a great job here. Hi, Monica. And just who is here? Tell me hi, so I know who is here, because I would otherwise can't tell. It is only sugar, or everything that converts to sugar, fruits, carbs? Yes. So yes, so fruits have high fructose content, but if we have apple and you have some fat like the nut butter, it's okay, because it will the body will know what to do. The problem is that if we have these juices, it's really high amount of fructose in one go. So it will spike the sugar really high. So another one, what if you're allergic to nuts? Yes. So seeds. Seeds are great. Pumpkin seeds are fantastic. You can make, I can give you a recipe if you want. I'm doing this crackers, and they're from seeds. They are really great. And really, it's important to do really small steps, like Nicole is saying here. Okay. Anybody, any questions so far? We went we did 3 steps, so 3 points. So first one was that you have to know what you eat. So if you eat sugar, you will crave sugar. That's number one. A second one was that if you are dehydrated, you will have cravings. So it's something that we have to think about. And third one was nutrient deficiencies. If we eat too much sugar, we will be deficient in these minerals, especially zinc, magnesium, chromium, that are really involved in metabolism of sugar. So it's really important to address it. Number 4, that will be surprising to many of you, but it's sleep. Sleep and sugar goes hand in hand. And I'm sure maybe some of you might have a feeling about it, that if you have bad night, you have cravings next day. And sleep and lack of sleep has been associated with increased sugar cravings. It's a vicious cycle, and I tell you why. Eating refined carbs, having glass of wine chips at the evening, or a glass of wine at the evening, or sugar and anything, especially at night, causes sleep disturbances, and lack of sleep causes sugar cravings. So you can see how it goes on. We eat sugar during the day, that at the evening we have a glass of wine, we have bad sleep, and bad sleep causes that we have crave again. So we have to basically break the cycle, because poor sleep affects our insulin and our satiety hormones, ghrelin and leptin, and this results in increasing our appetites and in our sugar cravings. So if you really want to do this work this week, try to go to bed earlier than normal, and you will see what happens. Many people tell me that they have difficulty to fall asleep, or then they wake up and they can't fall asleep. It can be many reasons. There's certain sleep hygiene importance to do, but I can tell you that I've heard so many times that when people take the sugar out of from their diet, they apply this PFF, so they were really eating the nutrients for the good health, and then their sleep just improved. And so as you sleep well and better, the sleep quality will improve, then you have less cravings the next day. So it's really important to take really these steps to improve your sleep, and follow the night routine. And the best, of course, is if you don't snack at the evening. I know it's a lot of things we're talking this week, and you don't need to do all the steps today, but just I would love you to know that this is the trigger for the cravings, and this will create less worse night for you if you're having the glass of wine too late, or if you're having these chips, or if you have ice cream with your TV show. It's all these habits are so hard to break, and I'm aware of it, but I just want to I just want to tell you this because it's really important. And it's important as well to follow some good nighttime routine. And so at least half an hour before bed, try to we all doing it, talking about it all the time, but it's good to take off the phone, because as you know, it's not only the blue light, but it's because when we have in our eyes, we have cells, and the cells can tell from where the light is coming from. So if it's light coming from the top, the eye is telling to our brain, oh, it's still day. So if you want to really improve your sleep, try to switch off the lights that are coming from the top, and try to put lights that are like lamps or something that is going from the floor. So like our ancestors, they were having a fire, right? So that's how we know, how our brain knows, and we have to kind of follow this circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is a big chapter. I'm not talking about this here this week, but I just want you to know that as well, sugar metabolism influences this too, and that's why it's linked to the sleep as well. So it's many pathway how sugar is interfering with sleep, but following at least a little bit the circadian rhythm is really super important. So in the evening, I try to give you a few tips. If you really have this habit that you and your husband, maybe kids, that you are snacking something by the TV. What I used to do when my husband used to do opening Ben and Jerry's at the evening, I just went and have a bath, and I just read the book, or I just went to bed earlier, because I know that if I sit next to him, I would have a piece of this ice cream. I have a piece of the, because it was too much of temptation. And when you will become stronger and stronger, you will be able to sit next to, and now I can sit next to him. He can have ice cream, and just I'm fine, because I know that I love to feel good in the morning, so I don't even have the cravings. But in the beginning, we have to, this is how I'm telling you that we need 1 year to really cement these habits, because you can trick the body. The body needs to know that you are serious. This is not another diet. And so make nice tea instead, or again, and you can have a bath as I did, and really enjoy the moment. And imagine if you really don't have the snack the first night, how nice you will feel the next morning. And if you don't have it second day and third day, and then if you don't have it the whole week, you already can see how you will see how the sleep will improve. I have one client, and she really had hard time to cook. She was very successful lady, and she was very busy, and she said, I cannot do the cooking, can I do something else? I said, well, let's start with the sleep. And so she did nothing else, only she didn't snack at night, and she went to bed early, 1 hour earlier, and she lost weight. So she lost so much weight only because she just improved her sleep. And then the rest came. She was able to then do the food because she was more motivated. She was able, because she was more fresh, so she was having better decision about what she will eat. So this is something that I really want to encourage you, that sleep is super, super important. It's overlooked. We're not talking about it enough, but we know that we have epidemic of really sleeplessness and sleep disturbances, and it's something that we have to do little things, little tweaks every night, if you can. And it's better, instead of the phone, it's better to have a book. If you know that you're going to bed at 10, try to go to bed already at 9:30 and read the book before, and this is the best way how you can really have a good night's sleep. And try to really not snack, have a tea instead. Buy some nice teapot, buy some lovely tea. The great teas out there, it's like licorice, anything, any herbal tea, mint or lemon balm. All these teas are great choice. I would not go for green tea and for black tea, because they are too much. They will stimulate you too much. You will definitely not have good night's sleep, because your eyes will be like this until midnight. Sometimes people improve coffee because they have this blind spot for coffee. So I have another lady, and she couldn't figure the sleep. She can't fall asleep, and then she woke up and she couldn't fall asleep at night. And she was doing the journal. We do always the journal, because that's the roadmap. So she did really detailed a journal, and then we figured out that she was having coffee too late during the day. So she was having coffee at 5 p.m. and it was too late for her. And so she moved it straight after lunch. That was the last coffee for her. And because she was so sensitive to caffeine, her sleep improved, just because we shift the coffee to an early hour. So this is something that as well, some people can have espresso at the dinner at 8 o'clock, and they can have good night's sleep. But some people are very sensitive to this, and especially if you have some sleep disturbances at night, this is something I will always look. When is your last coffee? So that's the sleep. Always think about sleep as a pillar to really better health and less sugar cravings, because if you improve your sleep, you will have less cravings, and if you have less cravings, your sleep will improve. So it's kind of vicious cycle. Another is stress. Stress causes our adrenals to secrete cortisol, and stress can make us crave sugar. And I'm sure you maybe realize that when we eat sugar, when the serotonin goes up, the dopamine, which makes us feel calm. So we feel great when we have the Snicker bar or Kit Kat. but it is dangerous because we can hijack the dopamine pathways that goes from stomach to brain. So we will have this artificial feeling good moment and we'll be kind of hooked on it. And so it's good to realize that it's instead of excuse me, it's better, instead of calming your body with a cookie, take action to manage your stress better by incorporating some calming techniques like meditation, the breathing techniques. Even if you do, in our program, we do every week, we do breathing techniques, because it's especially in this world we live now, it's just so much going on, and it's important to just be as calm as we can be. And because the breath that I show you how you can calm immediately. So we have like half an hour breathing techniques usually, and people, when they finish, they're like, oh, that's good. Because it feels good, because we suddenly go from the sympathetic, like stress, oh, hurry, after 20 minutes of breathing properly, deep breath, we go to the parasympathetic, which is the healing, the restorative, and the shift is huge. So if you have situation when you feel that like the stress is going, just pause and sit straight and just close your eyes and really just find, it's 1 minute. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in by your desk, and just close your eyes and you breathe in your stomach. 1, 2, 3, you breathe in your stomach, you hold your breath, and then you exhale deeply, like 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of box breathing. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, and exhale, 1, 2, 3. You do twice like this, and you already feel that you are calmer. It's so much power if we can breathe properly, and majority of people don't. Now actually, I as well give you one tip for the sleeping. Many people are mouth breathers, so they sleep during the night and they breathe through the mouth, and it's something that I don't have it here, but I use. Actually, we all use it in our family. We use little. I can show you tomorrow how does it look. It's a little tiny, like postage stamp that you put on your mouth. So make sure that you breathe during the nose, because we know how, again, detrimental it is for our health if we're breathing through the mouth. So it's something super important. And so again, the stress is big stressor. It creates not only inflammation, but creates the cravings. And when we are in this kind of roller coaster, it's really hard to recognize it, and it's hard to step out of it. So I just want to give you one little tip. If you feel that it's just too much, just pause. Sometimes to move faster, we have to slow down a little bit for a second. So just do this breath, this box breathing, 1, 2, 3, inhale, hold your breath, and then completely exhale as much as you can. Do this once or twice or 3 times. If you have do it for 1 minute, you will see how you feel calmer, and then you can respond to the stress somehow with cool mind. Is much better, instead of react to it with stress. So if you feel stressed and have a craving of something sweet, have a nuts. If you are allergic to nuts, have seeds, have piece of cheese, have avocado. I used to have in my work avocado. I take whole avocado and I just cut it, and I had some balsamico with some pepper. It's great, and it's I put some sprinkle with pumpkin seeds, and really eat slowly, mindfully, and really enjoy every bite. If you really need to have something sweet, dark chocolate is a great, especially the one that is 80% and more. It's a great snack. I mean, chocolate it's really good. It's a good news because it's good. It contains a lot of flavonoids, so it's this great phytochemicals that really can be beneficial for us. And if you have good quality of chocolate that doesn't have this soy lecithin, all these bad oils, that are in the chocolate. This can be something that you can really enjoy. So that's the stress. This is a hard piece. It was a hard piece for me, but I know that if you do these little steps, you can really improve overall health, especially the cravings that are really creating inflammation in the body. So number 6, this can be as well surprising, but it's the movement. Lack of exercise makes us feel sluggish mentally and physically as well. And actually, it makes us make poor food choices. So you may know that if someone goes to the gym and goes after the gym, they will not really be hungry for McDonald's. They will maybe prefer something else, something like kind of better choice of food with this PFF, protein, fat, fiber. And so I want to express the importance of physical activity. It doesn't mean that you have to go to fitness to a gym every single day. It doesn't mean that you have to be on treadmill every single day. A physical exercise, I mean walking. I mean park the car a little bit further from your destination so you can walk. This helps to balance our blood sugar. And very often when we have something sweet and we walk straight after, so if you have cake and you would check your blood sugar, it will go up and it will stay up. But if you have cake and then you have walk around the neighborhood or around the office or around the block, you can see that the sugar will slowly go down. So we know from science that this is very important. And I will talk more about it other day. But exercising also reduces the stress hormones and release the endorphins, those hormones, the feel good hormones that makes us feel good and really helps reduce the sugar cravings. So I want you to know it's not about dieting. It's not about, okay, this week I eat like Whole30 is great. It's wonderful. It's 30 days. But what you will do in day 31? Like, this is something that you have to create, something that is sustainable, and you will laugh that you will wake up next morning. I laugh tomorrow morning. I'm looking towards my oatmeal. I'm looking forward to it already because I know it's delicious. It feels good to eat it, and I know I won't be hungry for another 4 to 6 hours. So you will get there. You will get there. Just I want to make sure that you understand how we're talking here about real integrative approach. We're talking about cravings, sugar cravings, but how it's all connected. It's connected to sleep. It's connected to stress. It's connected to movement. It's connected to we don't drink enough. It's connected to many things, to our gut microbiome. I will talk about it on Wednesday because it's just too much to talk about today. And so it's not about diet. Yes, of course, we talk about food, but it's not about some kind of plan that you will. Yes, I have some meal plans, I have recipes, I do this, I do that, but it's not about something rigid that you will just follow and then we finish and you will not know what to do. This is something that you have to learn, apply, implement, and feel better and better day by day. And you will have days when you will, like now after celebrations, we all feeling sluggish because we ate so much of sugar. It's okay. It's okay because you can manage. Christmas, people usually gain weight like 10 pounds and more, and this is just normal. That's life. So I want to just that you realize I want to create for you something that you can just, that is real and it's not some if you believe that there is magic, there is not. The magic is to doing the daily practice and really keep the North Star and just do that. So I want to encourage you to do it because its reward is great. It's really great. If you can walk around the block after lunch, if you can do the breathing techniques, like the deep breath. If you have stress coming in before you respond, just try to do that. Try to drink the water. And try to do the PFF, eat the PFF, protein, fat, and fiber in every meal. We can talk about as well what to eat first because that as well matter. If you have plate, I can tell you now actually, if you have plate with food and there is a chicken, there is a rice, or potato and there is some vegetable, eat first the vegetable, because that will really help you with this sugar spike. Then eat the protein, the chicken, and then last you eat the carbohydrates. If you do it otherwise, if you eat the potatoes first, the sugar spike will be much higher. So this is a little tip for you. Last thing is triggers. You have to know your triggers, because you have to try to determine the source of your cravings, because sometimes, very often, we are, this has emotional charge there. So I want to give you some tip, and that's a blast. So you are eating because B, you are bored, L, you are lonely, A, you are anxious, S, you are stressed, T, you are tired, or it's just habit. So always, if you know, you always get a cookie every time you go to their favorite coffee shop, take another route home. If you know that there is some certain period of day in work that you are having the cookie with a coffee, just skip the coffee or have a tea instead, or just think about this. So it's we have to, if it's very powerful, because this will help you to do the right steps to stop this behavior. So I told you there's 7 important step points. Now I have one more topic, and that's the emotional eating, but I just want to quickly recap. Optimizing sleep is very important. Stress management is absolutely critical if you want to reduce sugar cravings. Increase physical activity. It doesn't mean that you go to gym. It's enough to go around a block, or just go for a walk with the dog. And what we eat matters. Don't skip the meal, because you might go to hypoglycemia, and eat the PFF, the protein, fat, and fiber. And make sure you're drinking enough water, so you hydrated, and make sure you're not nutrient deficient. There is, as I said, the magnesium deficiency is huge. It's most common deficiency among women, so it's something that you can check with your doctor. Same like vitamin D as well, critical. And so those, if you start with one and slowly will build up, you will see that your cravings will be gone. This is just science, and this is how our body works. If we give it sugar, we will crave sugar. If we give it some nice, really good whole foods that is nourishes and delicious, we will have much less cravings. And our last topic for today, I want you to be a bit open-minded, because I will talk about emotional eating. And it is essential to observe and find triggers that creates these cravings. And many of us are prone to emotional eating. We might miss someone enormously, but consciously we will have chocolate bar instead, or we will have cookie, or we will have the, after night shifts, I was using chocolate as a quick fix in my busy clinic for years. So I encourage you to find the way what is triggering your cravings, and because I'm sure we all experience it. So to be able to stop emotional eating, we have to figure out our 3W. We have to figure out what, when, and why. So ask yourself, what, when, and why do you need comfort food? Does it calm you down, or cheer you up, or compensate for your tough day, or maybe it's combination of all? It's important really to recognize these patterns, so you can develop a strategy to break it. For some people, it's really blind spot, and since they're doing this blast, they can say, "Oh, all right, I'm actually bored. That's why I'm having this." So it's good just to diverse and just maybe go for a walk, or drink water, or do 10 jumping jacks or something. And so it will help you. If you do this strategy, it will help you to resist giving in. And so you see how it's important. It's because once you recognize the pattern, it will be easy to break it. And as well, it's really so important to realize that emotional eating doesn't solve the problem that make you upset. So if you're upset about something and you eat the cookie will not help you to solve the problems. So it's better if you really don't eat the cookie and really look and be with the problem that you are. So for example, I tell you example. So I during the COVID, because this was the one event that I had, because I usually don't have cravings, but I do, but kind of this was really massive for me, which I didn't have for a long time. But during the COVID, I was really suddenly was craving so much of sweets, because I as well want to tell you that I'm eating sugar. It's not like I'm not for sugar-free eating. I'm eating sugar, and you can ask my friends if we go somewhere for dinner, I have a dessert. I do, because I choose to eat, because I know my body well, and I take the consequences. So I know that the next morning I will be having more cravings that I will need to manage, and I will maybe be more sluggish because of this huge desert that I will have that evening. But this is something that I know I can manage, and I choose to just have nice evening with friends. And so this is something I want to tell you. It doesn't mean if I tell you now, you have to restrict all the sugar. It's just period of time when you have to really like do the metabolic shift a little bit, and then you can again eating the sugar. That doesn't mean that I have donut from Dunkin' Donuts every single day. No, I don't. But if we have celebration, if we have Christmas, I will have sweets. I will have a cake. But what I wanted to tell you is that during the COVID, because all my family is in Europe, and I really miss them, and I was craving all these sweets, and and my husband, I think he said, well, do the blast. I said, oh yeah, I'm teaching this everyone, and I'm not doing it myself. So I did the blast. And I was like, I'm lonely. Yeah, I'm lonely because I was missing my family so much that kind of period, because I didn't see my dad for 3 years, and my sister for a long time. So I was lonely, and I was missing them so much. That's why I was craving the chocolate. So instead, I took a phone and I called them, and we just have conversation, and that was it. But I just want to tell you that sometimes it's kind of we don't realize, and we just go with the flow. So it's really good to pause and question everything, question really everything, because that's only way how you can really go out of this cycle. You have to step, as they calling it. You can't see the frame if you are in a picture. So I want to just encourage you to just pause sometimes and ask yourself why I'm doing this, why I'm eating these chips, like doesn't with the TV show at 9 o'clock at night. Because sometimes people telling me that they have these crackers at midnight. I mean, that's so bad for the body. We should really be sleeping and not eating at night. And so I want to share with you to how to really improve all these emotional maybe triggers that we have. So what helps with removing sugar cravings is ask yourself if you're eating when you're preparing food. That's very often we eating when we're preparing food, and then we already kind of having enough food, and then we have dinner. So we ended up eating too much. Are you eating while you're working at your desk? This is very often people realize that that's the trigger. They see other people eating by the desk, and then they're eating by the desk as well, and then they have a cookie, or they go to the the machine that you have at workplace for the snacks. So it's something that ask yourself why I'm doing this. Like, this is just this habit that it needs to be changed, or it's something much deeper that I see everyone else doing it, because it influences us really greatly when we see if everybody else having the cookie after lunch, we will be tempted to have it as well. Or maybe certain times of the day. For some people, it can be really the most difficult time at the evening, when they are having this quiet time by the TV with the husband, and he brings out all these Doritos, or the chips, and maybe he opens the bottle of wine. And so snacking in front of TV is really is very difficult. Or maybe it will be friends that will create you eat more food. We know that this really, our environment is a huge influence on us, and if your friends go to McDonald's, you will do too. We know that from science, and I'm sure you realize that as well, that if you are with certain people, you will eat more food if you are with other people. So that's something that always ask yourself, if you eat when you're tired, if you and don't use this high calorie sweet fatty food such as chips. Yes, chips are sugary food too, because they are refined carbs, and another savory like glass of wine for self-soothe, because that's something that will this is short this really, it doesn't go anywhere. So you see how it's important. We have to really question everything now if we want to make this change, because it's not about not just having sugar in our tea. It's about seeing the whole picture, and we have to really change the whole environment if you really want to do this properly and be just happy with that. Because again, it's not only about not eating sweets, it's about creating foundation for really better health. And so yes, there's we almost finished. Today is really quite I'm going along, but it's almost finished. I have one last thing I want to tell you, and then we talk about homework, and I hope it was helpful for you. So the solution is so recognize a situation that causes you to snack. Define your temptation zone and be aware of them. If it's your husband, tell him, please don't give me any snack, or eat it in the kitchen and don't bring it here. Talk to your family, because they are big support for you. And if it's the coffee shop that you drive home, around the coffee shop, and you're tempted to go in, drive different route home. That's what I was doing in Sydney as well, because every time I went to the coffee shop, I bought the zucchini bread. So I said, no, I have to drive somewhere else, because then I will be not tempted. And if you have to really be if you tempted, and for the snacks in front of your TV at the evening, really switch it for some nice tea. As I said, mint, licorice is great, lemon balm are great option. Any herbal tea will be fantastic and pleasant experience for you. So I would be really, if you want more tips, just let me know, send me DM, and I can help you. We can as well have quick chat if you want, just let me know. As well, environment, super important. Tell your family. I told my husband, don't offer me anything, because then he would have his ice cream, and he would say, no, I'm not giving to you. You cannot have it now. And it helped me, because otherwise I would be weak. I would say, okay, give me a little bit, because I would be so tempted, right? And so imagine that if you don't eat any of this today, and tomorrow, how great you will feel. Like, you always have to have this vision of yourself from now, where you want to be 6 months ago, where you want to be in 1 year time. You have to have that. For me now, it's like I want to really age healthy, and that's why I'm doing this what I'm talking. I don't have this sugar, and if I do, sometimes I have this cake, I have some good quality of sweets, not this chemicals that my kids always want. I'm saying, no, I'm not buying Cheetos because it's full of chemicals, and it will just create inflammation in your body. So it's from everywhere. So it's hard, because actually it's very easy to make a wrong decision about food here. It's much harder to make good decision about food. So you have to be strong to to say no to things. And so I hope it was helpful today. It was a lot, but I just want to bring you this awareness that is not only about food, but it's about all things that goes with it. And so the homework today is, if you can, who wants the food journal, let me know. Send me DM if you want, really, if you're serious, and if you want to have the journal when you write all the details. and I can send it to you. And you have here in the workbook, you can see, the workbook. I hope everybody has the workbook. And today homework is that try to do the blast, and try to ask yourself the what, the when, and why you are eating tomorrow. Try to just be do a little observation about your behavior and how you interact with all these snacks, and in your family and so on, in the workplace, how you are in the morning. Write everything down, because this is only way how you can succeed, when you really observing yourself and writing down what's happening, because then you will find there are certain traits, and then you can break it, and that's where basically the transformation will happen, because you see, so I cannot go with this to these people unless I do certain things, because I always eat too much and wrong food. Or you can say, if we do this with the kids, it always ended up eating too much. So there are certain things. We are habitual creature, and we usually fall into this thing always the same during the week. So you have to find your specific triggers, and then to really observe them, and then to break them down. And as you can see, the sugar cravings is really, it's complex, and only when we really kind of support the whole system as a holistic approach, kind of, I would say, then this only way how we can be successful. So tomorrow I will be talking about season vegetables. We will talk about nutrition. We will talk about gut microbiome, and there will be some great takeaways. So I will be here again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. So Kelly say hi. All right. Julia, Kendall, oh, great. Hi, everybody. Nicole, oh, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for putting all this information into the chat. And Nancy saying, yes, of course, we're recording it. It will be in Facebook group. So it's all good. Okay, any more question? I see. Perfect. So thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.